Hello, hello, hello. My name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the Business Plug. And tonight you have tuned into the Business Plugs Mixer. I get to do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I bring on people, fascinating people who have stories about how they got to be. It's pretty much their startup journey. So they talk about how they got to do this, but then they also talk about what it is they do. And so on here, you'll learn a lot. Today, we started 15 minutes later than normal because I went to go see Sarah's Oil. Have you seen that? Like, wanted to support them this weekend, and one of my church members and I decided to go to the later show and was running trying to get here. So it caused me to be a little late, but I'm here for you. And I want you to comment. Go ahead, wherever you're watching this, click the button so you can see when the notifications when we come on. So click the bell, like, follow, share, comment. And this is an interactive show. We want to do this in order to bring you information that you may not know. And tonight is no exception. Tonight, I'm so glad to have Kristie on. You're going to get to meet Kristie. And so those of you who know Kristie, then you know Kristie. And Kristie and I have known each other for quite some time. And we just realized, we were just talking before we came on about, we have a history. We've known each other in different circles for quite some time now, but I get to introduce her to you so that you can know her too. And you're gonna feel the same way I feel about her. She's a warm, endearing person that always brings a smile. She really does. And so before I bring her on, I need to tell you two things. The first thing is we are in class on Saturdays. So Saturdays, we're doing learning how to grow your business idea, right? So we're looking at the business idea and we're looking at what is actually selling in the marketplace. And right now is a great time to start pivoting or looking at your business differently so that you can actually start selling what people are buying. You know, the market has changed. And so this is not common. And so in uncommon times, we have to do uncommon things. And so that's what we're doing is we're going back and we're revisiting our business model to make it stronger to last through this economic season, right? So Saturday mornings, 12 o'clock noon, we meet online anywhere you are in the world with the internet. You're welcome to join us. Get in my DM and let me know if you're interested. And I can tell you how you can get the access to the credentials that get you in the class that helps you to figure it all out so that these are not really unsettling times. You actually have a plan and you just work the plan. That's what it is. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you need to have your business contract ready, I have a 360 business assessment. And this is what we do. We look through 7 aspects of your business. We look at how you're structured. We look at how you operate, right? We look at how you do marketing, how you do sales. We look at your distribution channels. We look at how your financial management is set up. Like, do you have a financial management system? Or are you doing the old school, the manual, right? We put automation in places that you do things repeatedly. In addition to that, we teach you customer service and how to create customer journeys. So that is the 360 business assessment. And if you're interested in that, where you're watching this, there's a link. Go ahead and make that appointment on getthebusiness.org or at Ready for Solutions. Book your appointment and we can talk about what your business do and how I can help you make it better. That's what we do. I'm a business development strategist. And so that's what I do. That's what I do all day, every day. And I enjoy doing it. Now that I've done all that, I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, my friend, Miss Kristie. So Kristie, here she comes. Hey, Kristie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm grateful to be here. As I was telling you earlier, just kind of getting ready up into this point, just kind of being mindful of how I was feeling and, going through all the emotions and excited and grateful for this opportunity. And I'm grateful beyond words. And I truly appreciate this.
Well, this is putting you in the hot seat, but not in the hot seat, but this is putting you in a seat where you can be seen and heard. That's my goal. My goal is to help people to learn who you are, what you do, and why they should be reaching out for you. So can you tell them, so you do a very specific thing, and you reminded me yesterday to say Reiki. So
Mhm,
I learned that because I was saying Reiki and
mhm,
Reiki. So you reminded me that you are a Reiki specialist, right? A Reiki
mhm,
master.
mhm.
And so tell people what that is.
Okay. A Reiki Master Teacher is just someone who is certified to teach others Reiki. There's a slight difference between Reiki teacher or Master Teacher and just Master. If you are a Master, you don't have the extra tools and techniques and modules to teach the students to become teachers, but whatever gifts that you have is much more enhanced. Like usually there are a lot of artists, painters, musicians who become master or Reiki masters, and they are just tapped in a little bit more, deeply spiritually tapped in to connect with their process and to be able to give more of all of themselves to their
Mm,
process. Just as a teacher, I just really go more into ethics and following your intuition and teaching you. Um, as I've learned to continue to learn myself, just kind of teaching them to be able to be their best selves and be present, something that I am constantly in something I'm constantly learning myself as I'm just learning to remember who I am and what I'm
mm,
capable of in the face of facing new things and having that, those feelings and that anxiety and the things that I realize are keeping me distracted and kind of down, but just realizing all of the potential just because of all the things that I have learned so far and all the experiences I've gained from and the wisdom that's gained through the lessons and the blessings. Um, it's 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 a simple process, but the only complication is the challenge is um, how much resistance you put up to the change, which for us is like, the devil there's the devil, the devil is better than the devil you don't know. Well, up to
exactly.
a point,
Yeah.
that's true. But when you realize you're tired of where you are, and then there's no one that you can make responsible but yourself.
Yeah.
And it just Reiki just helps you get to a place where you're just like, okay, I have to own the fact that I am allowing this to continue like this. And I can make the
Yeah.
choice as to whether or not I want to make a change or not. And then do your best to remove all the self-judgment that keeps you in that toxic cycle. And I've come to the point where I have just learned more and more not to be attached to what I do, but just be grateful that I'm able to offer an objective ear,
Yeah.
a place of just support and just to help them make the next steps. We all have the answers inside of us. It's just bogged down by fear and old story. And I know we'll probably get more into this, but
I love
that's
it. I
just what
love
I
it. I love
bring.
all of
And I
that.
just yes, thank you.
I love all of that because when I first started this journey, I had just written my autobiography, right? And I was
Mhm.
learning about I think I told you all the other day about me. It was a purge, and it was
Mhm.
me taking things out of me that I didn't even know were in me. But
Yeah.
was me taking the hurt, the pains, the thoughts, all the negative stuff, and
Mhm.
putting it in the book. And then I had room to heal and
Mhm.
room to do other things that were marvelous and things I've gotten to do since that I released that book. And writing that book was therapeutic for me.
Oh,
Like,
that's wonderful. I
yeah, it
love
was
that.
therapeutic. It was a game changer. And
Mhm.
so, I was traveling doing power of choice, like what you were talking about, that
Mhm.
anytime you can say, yeah,
Mhm.
this is not what I want to be. This is not what I
Mhm.
want to do. So
Yeah.
how did you get involved? Like, where did your journey start in this?
My journey started with a calling. I was feeling a little lost. I was in therapy and I was kind of making some headway, but I just felt kind of like stuck. And sometimes when you realize that you're being impatient and but I was like something just told me just to kind of be calm and be still. And when a friend of mine offered to teach me Reiki, I didn't understand what it was, but something felt like I felt heart called to say yes.
Yeah,
When it's
yeah.
heart called, you feel it in your chest and it feels good, even though if it feels scary and you're just like, I
It
don't know.
scares me.
Use that faith and that trust. And I said yes. And then I learned the first level in March and then level two in August. Just for clarification, level one is like you're focusing on your physical self
Uh-huh.
and again understanding the ethics and the history and everything, and then level two is more about the emotional process and the addictions, and that's where I had one of the largest breakthroughs, especially with therapy, because I was able to um remember like old bouts of addiction and depression, and that's where that
Mm.
mental part of my mental health journey began. And I began to have like ahas and really good breakthroughs in therapy. And I think the main difference was I wasn't judging myself. I wasn't trying to like make excuses. I was just observing it objectively as I could in that moment. And since then, it's been cyclical. Just coming back to it when my mental health and my nervous system has felt stronger, when I've been able to bring it back up in therapy, like, this came back up and again. And I'm grateful for the my therapist just to help me again, have me be present and not sucking my stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. So
Because
just
a lot of
that's
times
kind of
we
where it
don't even know
began.
it's the stuff. A lot of
Exactly.
times we have no idea
Exactly.
that it's stuff,
Exactly.
and we're stuck in
Exactly.
this revolving circle.
Mhm.
We keep seeing the same thing happen
Mhm.
as if it was a script,
Yeah.
right? I was just
Mhm.
telling a young man the other day about the movie Groundhog Day.
That is my husband's favorite movie. He loves that movie.
But
Yes.
sometimes I feel like I'm living in it, right?
Yeah.
Because every day Bill Murray wakes up,
Mhm.
he's doing the same thing over and over again. And
Yeah.
that's how we are in life, though. Sometimes
Mhm.
in life, we continually see the same cycles, and it's like we're in a movie of the groundhog. We're playing Bill Murray's role.
Mhm.
So that right there, but it sounds like what you have come upon and what you have studied is something that can break that cycle.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I always set the intention when I have opportunities like this to talk about what I do is if anyone is like watching us and is feeling, compelled or called to go in a particular direction, my ask is that to honor that. And a part of this for me has been not to be attached to whether or not you book a session with me. My intention is for you to get your aha. And that
Yeah,
may not, that may just require you listening to you and I have a conversation, and then they get moved to go do something. Wonderful, I've done my job. But if you feel like something within what I'm saying is resonating with you, and you feel called, of course, check out for my information, find out more about me. But this is really about just helping, being a good steward of the earth and
yeah,
her, and her and her inhabitants.
yeah.
That's my main goal. And however that happens. And I'm curious and joyful to see how it unfolds.
I love
So
that. I love
yeah.
that. I used to think so. I have this innate gift I've had the majority, well, that I've had all my life, probably, but came to recognize late in life, right?
Mhm.
At the age of 39, I really embraced the power of what I have. Like
Mhm.
before then, I was just going along, da, 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 yeah, whatever, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. But at 39, I like honed in on, wait a minute, I'm different. Wait a
Yeah.
minute, something's very different about me. And embracing that difference, right? And
Mhm.
and moving closer to that difference instead of running away from it. And
Yeah.
not wanting to be different, want to fit in and want to be like everybody else and want
Mhm.
to want to, just be accepted. But I
Yeah.
was different and I thought different and I act different and I talk different and people
Mhm.
would notice that you're different.
Mhm.
And me thinking, oh, that's a bad thing. So me
Yeah.
powering that down
Yes.
as not to offend someone.
Yes.
Like I think you when you were talking the other day, you were talking about, how that is. And I can relate to that so well
Mhm.
because for a lot of you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that, we're all too something, right?
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
We're
I
all
knew too much. You're a
yeah, yeah,
know-it-all, wait,
you're
but I
too
was just really
oh
yeah, it was survival, and I'm just trying to,
yeah.
like, "I'm smart and I'm worthy. Don't reject me." That's that's
That
I
right there,
talk too
I've
much, and
had
then I
more
just
people
clamp down,
say,
I'm like, "What do you want?"
you shouldn't know it all. Like, excuse me if I use my common sense. Like,
Yeah.
what's common sense? It was Voltaire in the 15th century that said, you know, common sense is not common.
Mm,
And the more I hear that, more when people talk about their common sense, I hear Voltaire saying, no, it's not common. It's not what you're thinking because it's based on where you were, your own individual environment and how you were raised and who you were raised
mhm.
by and all the
Yeah,
things. And
yeah,
people walk away thinking that's common sense.
yeah.
And it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's
No,
common sense
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
It's not common sense in general. And
yeah.
so getting to understand that and getting to understand that we are different, that
Mhm.
some of us we're outstanding, and so we've never fit in. Like we were not meant to fit in. And so
Yeah.
I love that you help people underline that part of them
Mhm.
that they have thought wasn't acceptable in the world. Hey
Yeah.
there, Owen. Owen Roper's joined us. Hey, Owen, good to join. Good to see you there. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, it's just understanding our individual selves
Mhm.
and where we fit in this world.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that you do that. I love the work that you do.
Yeah. I mean, we all have like individual gifts. And granted, I mean, it's like, I can't remember. It was something that's like, there's like there's like a million coaches, but there's only one you, right? And so
Yeah,
I think, for me, when you were talking about a lot of my friends were becoming coaches, and I love my coach friends, but when I tried it, it was almost the right fit, but it didn't feel quite the right fit. And so I went through the grieving process of like, oh, maybe this is a bad idea, maybe I'm a bad person. And like, no, you tried it out and it wasn't your fit. It wasn't your pair of shoes. And
absolutely.
so just yeah, just realizing that again, and thank you for sharing that story because that helped me just realize I feel very much a Reiki master teacher just because I feel like, just because of all the things that I've learned and experienced, I just feel like I'm just in that kind of teachery, moderator, facilitator kind of vibe that
Yeah,
I respect and like a
and that's
lot.
and that's great. It's a great
Yeah.
well, that I've been doing. So when I think about like when I'm teaching classes and people are like, you teach different. Like even in my
Mhm.
my GED classes, my students say, if somebody taught me like this in school, I would have had this by now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have an innate ability to find where people are or to
Mhm.
sense where they are and
Mhm.
bring information to them at the level they can understand.
Yeah.
That's been my whole life. And I didn't know that that was like a superpower or a skill or something
Yeah.
until, like I said, at 39, I started embracing
Mhm.
who I was and what I'm
Mhm.
meant to be doing on this earth.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
empowering is that? So without, specifics or anything, but
Mhm.
talk to us about how do we know we need to come see you?
Probably if you've listened to like any of my meditations or seen any of my videos and something in that resonates with you and you still haven't felt like you've reached an aha, because again, everything that I do, I send Reiki. So you receive the information, you get the ahas. And if you're feeling like you're not getting an aha from watching or experiencing my meditations, you probably want to consider like booking a distance Reiki session. It's much more personal, it's recorded, because our nervous system, the first time we hear stuff, we can put up defenses and make judgments and have background noise. And so I offer a recording for you to listen to it again. And it's just very intimate and very personal, and just kind of helps you. You answer like four questions when you book your session, just to kind of help us get started. But then from there, a whole a whole path of opportunity opens up that you don't realize occurs when you kind of get the things that you're initially aware of out of the way, to make space for the say like, oh, now that I have this energy freed up, I'm reconsidering something that I set in the back burner, or something that I thought that I wouldn't be able to accomplish because of XYZ, or my age, or whatever. And so yeah, if you just kind of feel like, the things that I've offered initially, just to find out more about me, is not enough, then you would probably consider booking a session with
I
me.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Owen said you're a gift from God.
Oh, thank you, Owen. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But yeah, and that's the thing. Those are the talents that, today we were talking about, how he gave people. We were talking about in Ephesians at church today. And they were
Mhm.
talking about in Ephesians 4 how he gave us all talents to
Mhm.
do things to build the kingdom. And
Yeah.
getting people to understand who they are and what their purpose
Yeah.
is a part of that. Like helping people to understand that we
Mhm.
all have purpose,
Absolutely.
and that we sometimes because the world is so noisy, we lose sight of what that purpose is. I always, when I'm dealing with new business owners and they're trying to figure out, Linda, I know I should be doing something, but I don't know what the something I should be doing, right?
Yeah.
And I usually take them back to their 10-year-old self, and I get
Mhm.
them to tell me about her or him. and tell me, what their ambitions were, or what were the things they like to do, or when I grow up, I will. What finish that sentence and tell me what it is that you would like to do. And or what people have said, you are so good at that, like you do it naturally. My coach TJ Mercer said, you are good at things that put other people, you can do in your sleep the things that keep other people from sleeping. Like it comes to you naturally.
Oh,
And so those things, and we tried to frame their purpose around their businesses, right? And
mhm.
in talking, I mean, even that first event, the first time we talked, they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize that was it. Because most times life repeatedly tells you exactly who you should be. Like you feel it. Like
Mhm.
it's when your purpose, your soul, and your efforts all meet up in the same place.
Yeah.
And you're like, I always tell people, close your eyes and feel it, because you'll want to repeat that again.
Exactly, and then you won't be attached to how it looks showing up because 'cause you're feeling it. You're just
Yeah.
like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is a lot of time people have been taught to don't be emotional. Don't show your emotions. Stay out of your emotions. Like,
Mhm.
but we're emotional beings.
Yeah.
And so I say, it's not don't show them, it's understand them and manage them.
Yeah, take them into account. Have let them have a word because,
Yeah.
like, if you're feeling anxiety and you squash it down and you don't give it a voice to, like, say something and just, "Okay, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling short-tempered," and sometimes just naming it, just saying it out loud, like, "Oh," and then it just feels like
It
for
loses.
me, it just a release, yeah, a shift, and then
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't wanna just, you don't wanna drown in it anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is you are not suppressing it. You're
Mhm.
giving it room, like you said. You're giving it
Mhm.
room, and you're saying, okay, I feel this way. I talk all the time about depression, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what it was, but the more I learned about my maternal grandmother, the
Mhm.
more I learned how behavior illness is in our families, on our DNA. And I have, relatives that are coping with various parts of that.
Mhm.
And but it once I knew what it was, once it had a diagnosis,
Yeah.
then I knew how to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
And it's a
Mhm.
part of who I am. So out for 24 hours, I'll, isolate and let it be. But then after that, I'm getting up and I'm moving, I'm doing something different.
Mhm.
I've learned to manage that instead of allowing it to manage me.
Nice. I love
Yeah.
that.
My
Yeah.
grandmother was not diagnosed, and she
Mhm.
was never treated.
Yeah.
And because of that, there are some incidents in her life that were beyond her control, because, people think if something's going on with your brain, there's something wrong with you. Oh no, don't say that. That
Mhm.
means you're crazy.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But if
Yeah.
something's wrong with your arm or your heart or any other
Mhm.
part of your body, you go
Yeah.
to a therapist. I mean,
Yeah.
you go to somebody for help. You go to a
Yeah.
doctor, a practitioner, a
Mhm.
provider. But when it
Yeah.
comes to our brains, we shun, even though it's a part of the same body.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly,
We
and
shun.
yeah, yeah, I've had, like, my parents had, like, especially my father, he had, like, severe trauma as a child,
Mm.
and I had to check my own privilege because my naive self was like, "Well, why didn't you go to therapy?" My dad was like, "It was the '60s, black people didn't go to therapy,"
Yeah.
So it's just like, "Oh," and that just allowed me to be fortunate again that I had the privilege of therapy, and then to be able to connect with my father and meet him where he was, all things considered. And so that helped me like really, I guess, heal a compassionate part of myself, especially and make everything right between he and I before he passed away. So but it's just amazing the opportunities we have available to us, especially in the last 5 6 years with like
Yeah.
COVID and everything, and having us kind of reevaluate what it means to us to contribute and be of value. um
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's been a little bit like, but, I wouldn't trade it for anything because I just feel, um, much more here and present, I guess,
Yeah.
because of all of it, so yeah.
Like we learned in life, and I came from a coma, so
Yeah.
I have learned. I mean, COVID taught me.
Mhm.
to be alive.
Yeah.
Like I came very close to not being alive. So I cherish each day. Like that means speaking to people that I normally wouldn't speak to,
Mhm.
or being involved in things I wouldn't have wanted to experience, like embracing life, like
Mhm.
getting past the fear, all the fear and the negativity and all the other stuff, but
Yeah.
just embracing life as it is, and cherishing every moment on this side of that. But
Yes.
yeah, so if somebody's listening to this, what would you like them to take away? I know in the top of this, you
Mm.
talked about feeling that movement in their heart or emotion or whatever.
Mhm.
But what would you like them to be able to garner and take away from this conversation?
That they're capable and worthy, and that they should allow themselves to trust themselves. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And everything that I'm saying, I wish I'd spoken and comprehended and understood of myself years ago. Um, it's like we have all the answers inside. We have all the answers in our side of ourselves to take the next step, even if we can't
Yes.
see the full path in front of us. That's
Yes.
between spirituality and science. That's I'm not even there's that's silly to argue that part. That just
Yeah.
is. And so just through prayer and contemplation, therapy, going for a walk, going to whatever, there's ways to be able to figure out the next steps for yourself that work for you. I love that I can help folks have ahas, but I can't want it, whatever it is, more than you. That is up to you. You are aware of your story and what you're capable of. And my prayer, my intention is for anyone listening or watching, is that you find the joy that lifts you up and continues to go on each day and be your best self and speak to your soul's purpose. And know that if you're doing it from a place of love and from as close to a heart calling as you possibly can, you will be guided no matter what you
Absolutely.
believe in what path of spirituality that you follow or belief system.
I love that. I love that
Thank you.
because that's a great takeaway. I mean, understanding it's not one size fit all.
Exactly.
And we all have our own different paths, and it's okay.
Hmm.
It's okay to be you, whatever you is, whatever that looks like. It's
Absolutely.
okay to be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you were given a talent to share with the rest of the world. And so I love that. I love that you said that.
Thank
Like
you.
just remind us, because sometimes we look at other people and say, "Ooh, I want to be like her," or "Ooh, I want to
Mhm.
be like them."
Yeah.
And no, be you.
Yeah. And that's in the one of the things I mentioned is like that's the reason why I'm really grateful that we reconnected after all this time, and then I'm working with you more now because I started out in this journey with like a very different idea of how I wanted to come to this part. So a lot of things I'm having to I feel like I'm reviewing and reevaluating, but I feel like I'm in a safe supportive space in which to do that and not feel shame because you've done a marvelous job of like just being very kind and comforting and non-judgmental. A lot of the things that I'm healing from as I continue to go on this path. And so I'm just excited for all the things that I'm going to find out more about myself and what's possible for me. I'm excited. I'm even excited to do a business plan again. It's like maybe the third time I've done it. I'm like, I don't feel any kind of anxiety about it. I know it's the first draft's going to be poop. That's okay. We're
So,
gonna
and it's
figure it
okay.
out.
Absolutely,
We're gonna figure it out.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I feel just excitement about this and just and hope.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
thank you for trusting me. Like,
oh,
thank you for
absolutely.
trusting me with your business idea.
Absolutely.
And here's the
Absolutely.
thing. Now, she's been in business for some time. How old is your business?
I have, oh gosh, this version. Maybe in the last like 2 or 3 years, I've come back to like being a Reiki Master Teacher. I've been like coach and all these sorts of things, but Reiki like that's but technically the last 12 years as a Reiki Master Teacher,
Yeah.
just trying to put my shingle out there and just but it's been there's a much I had to learn and relearn to get to this
And
point
that's the
again. But
thing.
that's okay. It's
But
all
no,
good.
remember that, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I've worked with people that's had business 30 years,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because when you're starting your business yourself and when you're doing things that you this season has changed.
Hmm.
Like none of the old rules apply.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was just it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was just like, "I can't. I'm out. I'm done. A girl is tired." And then but then I kept just being brought back, and I'm like, "Okay, help me, God, figure this out. If you're bringing me back again, can you help a girl out?" And so far so good. And
Because it's a different world, right?
yes,
It's a different world.
exactly.
And so
Yeah.
with the different world, there are different things happening. And
Mhm.
so the old formula
Yeah.
no longer works
Mm-mm.
for right now. And
Yeah.
and that's the thing is when we're talking, I'm teaching business owners like yourself and others how to sell what people are buying.
Mhm.
How to look at your audience different and build a different business model and it be okay. And it be okay. But I
Yeah.
love the work you do, and I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad you told me yes, that you would come on and talk to my audience about Reiki, about Reiki and what that is, and
Yeah.
educating me. See, I'm learning too. So it's a
Mhm.
give and take. We're both learning.
Mhm.
Um, and what it does and how it betters people. Like if
Yeah.
you are out there, thank you, Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Dawn says she's out there learning Reiki herself. I love
Yay!
that. Thank you,
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
hey, reach out to her, Dawn. She can help you. She can help you, give you some tips and things. She's really good about that.
Oh,
But
thank you.
the things you do is helping people to find themselves. Like
Mhm.
after COVID, after in this economy, like all the
Mhm.
things that's happening in life
Yeah.
that are outside of our controls,
Mhm.
you are teaching people how to use the control they have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because in the middle of, COVID, when I realized, "Wow, I'm not living the life that I wanna live." And then and and then it's like and then there was a long pause, and I had to, like, sit with that. It was just like, "Okay, well, what can I do now? How what can I," and then so I, yeah, "What can I do now? What change can I make?" And then I just waited for, my brain and spirit to, like, give me a direction to go, and again, here we are. And
Here we
so,
are. Here we
yes,
are. And
here
we
we are.
still rocking and rolling. That's what we're doing.
Yes,
We're rocking
absolutely.
and rolling. Well, as I go to close us out, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And thank you all for joining Kristie and me this evening to learn about Reiki. So reach out to her. You have all the links wherever you're listening to this. And then follow the Business Plugs Mixer here every Sunday. And I say every Sunday. Let me fix that on Sundays. On Sundays at 7-ish. We normally come on at 7, but today again was a special day. And so we came on later, but we're so glad you're here. Leave your comments. We're going to go back and read them all. So leave your comments and connect with Kristie and have a good week, everyone. I'll see you next Sunday on the Business Plugs Mixer. Thank you all for joining us and have a good night.
Good
Have
night.
a great
Thank you.
week.